Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every day out there on the upper tier. Trying to clear my throat there. I've been shouting at a TV for the last 55 minutes. This is your match reaction and player ratings. A massive win for the Reds in the capital tonight. Their first 3 points away from home, their first away win, even though we're 14 games in. Um, but it was a huge 3 points. It was a huge 3 points. And the thoughts after that first, 15, 20 minutes where we were so strong, then we let Spurs back into the game. Salah taking his goal so well, looking back to his best nearly, really, really playing well. Some of the link up play was really, really good. And then we kind of let Spurs back into it. And it kind of tends to be the trend, doesn't it, when we play Spurs? We kind of start off a little bit strong, then they come back into the game, and then we kind of finish a little bit stronger. And then the second half, though, I don't know, it was just such a strange game, real game of two halves, but massive results today when you think about it. United getting slapped up by Aston Villa, Newcastle absolutely fantastic again today. Sad to hear of the governor getting the bullet at Southampton. He's a real character, Hasselhoodle. And they're our next opponents. So it'll be interesting to see who they get in. But just going back to today's game, I mean, we did a number of chances at times. But we just at times just don't seem to have that kind of, I won't say cutting edge, but just that kind of desire at times to see situations out and stuff like that. And I mean, they could have easily, like, our Spurs will be shocked tonight that they didn't at least get a draw out. That they had a couple of really good chances. That the Bentancur one, the flick header from Kane towards the end and stuff like that. But we were kind of like a snail today, weren't we? Where we came out in the first half, we were out of our shell. We were kind of on our pump. We were playing well, moving the ball around. Salah gets his 2 goals. Nunez looked like a pest all that first half, was causing them problems, albeit his close control was a little bit off and stuff like that. But I liked some of the things that they were trying today. I liked, especially that relationship now between Nunez and Salah seems to be um, meshing, if you like. They seem to have an understanding or a better understanding of what each other's going to do, especially Nunez turning provider today. And a couple of times he had put Salah in. But I also like the way when Nunez picks up the ball and he makes those cut-in runs from the left into the right. And I like the way Robbo was going over across him to make the decoy run and stuff like that to open up the space for the shot. And I think once we keep on playing like that and playing with that bit of cleverness, I think it will yield rewards. I think we will get goals. The goals will come. But yeah, it was just the 2 goals that Salah got, obviously very, very good. The first one was a squared ball, left free in the box, puts it away. Second one was the error off Dyer, but still had a lot to do and put it by a rushing out Lloris, took it really, really well. It's a super win, really, for us, and it's a win that now we can go into the Derby game. Do what we need to do in the Carabao Cup and change out players, give players minutes and stuff like that. But what we can also do is we can go in with a bit of, I wouldn't say confidence, but just, that's a big 3 points. And we should be able to kick on from that, get another 3 off Southampton at home next week, and then take that well needed break that we really need for the World Cup. Come back fresh for the Christmas period and then see where it takes us, see what players we can get back off injury and what other deals we can potentially do in the January window, and then kick on and let's have a much better second half to the season. Morris in the comments, how are you, Morris? Good to see you there. Good win. You have to put away the small teams too, so don't be afraid to celebrate. I'm celebrating Gabriel going level on goals with Mason Mount. Absolutely, he sent it to me today. Quality stuff from Morris. Yeah, it was a weird day, wasn't it? A weird day. Gabriel putting us back top of the table again. Are you all starting to believe now, Morris? Are you beginning to believe? I told you with a bit of belief you could be still top come the World Cup and stuff like that, and you just doubted me. Start believing, man, and enjoy the ride. For whatever it is, enjoy the ride. You look at City there yesterday, getting out of jail again. Sometimes that won't happen for them. Use big win away at Chelsea. massive statement there of intent. So, enjoy it. And who knows who might come in January with a bit of luck if Arteta's given a few quid to really push on. But yeah, getting back to the game today, then I don't know, the second half, we come out, we go into ourselves, coughing up possession so easy, not really taking control of the ball and managing the game the way we should, allowing players to come into the game that weren't in the game. And then what happens is when we're coughing up possession so easy and giving the ball away so easy, what happens is that's when we create this nervousness starts kicking in. And then it becomes a real problem, because what happens is the more of that nervousness that kicks in, we start dropping deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And that just invites pressure on us and stuff like that. Now, today, thankfully, we saw it out. A couple of good saves from Ali, who himself today at times was a little bit nervous. I mean, that time he got caught in possession and stuff like that. But I mean, we're not going to give out about Alisson. He's been brilliant all season for us and been, dare I say, our standout player. Morris back in the comments. If Haaland wasn't at City, we may have a chance. Not believing yet, but enjoying the run. Morris, believe. Turn from doubters to believers. We did it. You can do it if you just get behind it and keep that momentum going. Some big wins you've had so far, so just keep it going. Why not? But yeah, I suppose we need to talk. We need to have a conversation again. First of all, Fabinho at times today just seems off it. Doesn't seem to have that strong control that he normally has, that dictates the game and dictates the play. At times it kind of like he didn't win the battle and it bypassed him a bit. Thiago, I think, was really, really good. I think his passing at times was really, really good. He also has shown us a side of his game now where he's willing to get in there and battle in terms of tackles and stuff like that now, which is a really, really good side of his game. So not only is he brilliant in terms of passing and distribution, but also that battle in there to win balls back and stuff like that. And today I just thought himself and Fabinho, unlike the other night against Napoli, they were a little bit disjointed tonight. They were a little bit fragmented and they weren't playing in that pivot and that tangent that had worked so well for them against Napoli. Just a small thing, Harvey, I think he was bullied that time by the Spurs players and stuff like that and just got bullied out of the game, really. Morris back in the comments. There's a rashness that's gone into Trent's game this season. Very lucky to have not conceded the penalty. Absolutely. We're just about to get on to talk about Trent Morris. I think with Trent, every time there's a crossfield switch ball that goes to his side from the opposition, my heart is in my mouth, because I don't know whether he understands how to deal with it early or on the ground and stuff like that. And the balls just seem to glide over him and players seem to glide by him. And Perisic today again kind of tortured him quite a bit. If you look even in that first half, the amount of covering Konate had to do. And some people will say, yeah, well, that's his job to come out and cover and stuff like that. It's kind of more his job to come out and cover, more so, when Trent is maybe caught out of position and stuff like that. But when Trent's in position, he shouldn't need so much covering to go on. You even see it there towards the end, because they were getting a lot of joy out that side and stuff like that. The gaffer threw on Gomez as well. So then you have Trent, Gomez and Konate, just trying to block off that side. And it's really worrying. I'm also worried about Trent in terms of his application as well. Again, he kind of jogging around aimlessly at times and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, his forward play and his distribution today was really, really good. The amount of balls he hit Nunez with, I think, was really, really impressive. And some of those passes are absolutely sublime to watch. They land on a plate. If Nunez's close control was better, we'd reap better rewards from it. But I just think at times, when I see the ball going out to Trent and people just relish it and stuff like that. And I thought in the first half, when we were squeezing the play and we were playing a little bit higher and we were suffocating Spurs a little bit, I think obviously it works a little bit better because he's under a little bit of pressure. But you see players flying by him, how he got away with that. To me, even as a Liverpool fan, that shove on Sessegnon, I know he went down a little bit light, but I've seen those penalties given, and if that penalty is given, your team is in real trouble. And we know Ali can be good at saving penalties and stuff like that and saving our bacon at times, but I don't understand the whole idea of, player in the box and you're forearming him in the back. What you're really showing is you're just showing your own inadequacies, basically, in terms of your play and stuff like that. And I mean, he was going nowhere with the ball. You just had to see it out. You just had to stand up and be solid and just see it out. There's no need to be doing that. And another day there given, the ref did let some stuff go. Yeah, so I mean, we go into the second half, and the second half is just, it's like chalk and cheese, really. You know what I mean? 54 minutes, we had a howler from Allison. We were lucky to be let off. He got caught in possession and stuff like that. But we just come out in the second half so laid back, not pushing the narrative, not going out there to try and get. I always say 2-0 is a very dangerous scoreline. And once the opposition get a goal, and they did, of course, Harry Kane scoring on 70 minutes, massive wake-up call for Liverpool. But even then, when Harry Kane scored, there was no real wake-up call for the team. The team didn't suddenly, buzz and get a jump from what happened. It's that kind of going back into the shell and feeling sorry for yourself as to why this happened and all that kind of thing. 74 minutes, Hendo and Jones come on for Harvey and Firmino. Jones came on, didn't have an impact in the game at all, and at times players just sailed by him. There was one where Spurs came in from the right hand side with a ball, sailed right by him and got a shot away. And I just think you need to be better than that. You need to be stronger than that at this level. We've really gotten out of London there. Really gotten away with it when you think about it. On another day, Spurs, if they had had Kulusevski on for longer, Doherty came on and made a huge impact as well. And if they had had Son, we could have been in real trouble. So we were lucky that those players were missing. 83 minutes ahead of him, Bentancur, Ali with the save. And then, as I said, every time the ball gets switched out there, Trent, he just looks like he's asleep at times. That one I was talking about, the 86-minute ball in from Kulusevski, Jones way off the pace to cover it, just wasn't there at all. 87 minutes, Nunez off, Gomez on. Breakout, I was thinking the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers when I see Joe Gomez coming on. I was just thinking to myself, here we go. The thoughts of a draw in this game would have drove me insane. 90 minutes, you could see Big Ibu Kanate absolutely going ballistic, tearing into players and stuff like that, and rightly so. 92 minutes, Salah goes off and Ox comes on. And if I was saying Hail Marys and Our Fathers when Gomez came on, just imagine what I was doing when Salah was going off and Ox was coming on. Thank God it was just to kind of wind down the clock a little bit. But the game ran out and finished 2-1. There was also an opportunity from a flick header as well from Kane to the back post. Bentancur just didn't read it. On another day, he reads that, and that's in the back of the net. But we'll take the win, 2-1. The performance was really based on 45 minutes because second half we just didn't perform. Salah was our man of the match. We will get into the player ratings, deservedly so. Took us 2 goals really well, but literally had no service at all for the second 45 minutes. Really, really poor. And at times having to drop very deep just to dig in with the rest of the team. So there wasn't much of an outlet either. But yeah, we'll roll on. We won't always get away with it if that's the kind of 90 minutes we put in, where we really only put in 45 minutes, but we'll take the result and we'll move on to Southampton. Interesting to see who they'll put in as caretaker coach, or have they got a manager lined up. I did call it that. I thought myself and Darren on a couple of shows now have called it that we thought Ralph, he might be in a bit of bother there. I mentioned it the other day, I think on Thursday, Tier Talk, that another defeat or two and he'd be in serious trouble, because they started out really well last season and they tumbled down the table. Now they're starting quite down low. And if they start tumbling down, they're going to be in serious trouble. Let's get into our player ratings. And these player ratings are always a real difficult one. Extremely difficult as well when you're kind of judging them. It was 45 minutes, so really, really difficult. If you look at the 90 minutes, literally you're judging them on the first 45 minutes. Second 45 minutes, they were shocking. Alisson, I gave a 7 to. Although at times a little bit of nervousness there that we don't normally see from Ali. Got caught in possession once, but pulled off some really good saves as well. So I'll give him a 7. 7's not a huge rating for Ali when you think about it. He tends to be, his level tends to be the 8s or the 9s. He tends to be really, really good. Trent, I gave a 6-2. I thought his forward play today, I thought was really, really good. Some of his switch passes to Nunes and stuff like that were breathtaking. And on another day will yield a lot better results and stuff like that. Kanate, I gave a 7-2. Pretty solid at the back most of the day. Bit of covering for Trent and stuff like that at times, dragging him out of position. But he does bring, dare I say, a calmness that you see kind of in the first half. But second half, just the nervousness overtook us. And it's probably the fact of not having an away win, how important the 3 points were. And against a top 4, top 6 team. So it was really, really important to get. Van Dijk, I gave a 7-2. It was interesting to see when Kulusevski came on that the drop off in Van Dijk, he kind of dropped off, and it was like a kind of a level of respect for Kulusevski. We know how dangerous he can be. Had a sublime start to the season, but came on, created a little bit of havoc and created a few chances that really should have yielded at least an equaliser for Spurs. He's a guy that we should be targeting. We need to cut out that when we come up against Spurs again, because he's really the danger in terms of the providing. Robbo, I give a 7-2. Thought he was decent, especially first half, really getting them stuck in, but also bringing that energy and stuff like that. And his link-up play with Nunes was pretty good. As I said, I love the way he's running those decoy runs now, not looking for the ball, which opens up the space for Nunes to switch inside and stuff like that. So I thought that worked really well today. Fabinho, I gave a 6-2. Again, not at his best. At times left wanting in terms of the battle in there and got overrun at times. But he's just trying to. We know there's a lot of stuff going on there in the background and stuff like that. And maybe this 4 or 5 week break now might do him the world of good to sort things out in terms of his personal life and stuff like that, which obviously is not helping him on the pitch. On top of that, though, I mean, his game, he just needs a huge lift in his game at the moment. Dare I say, he feels like a lost soul in there by the looks of things. He doesn't look as if he feels a part of a team. And as I said, even that tangent that worked so well the other day with Thiago was kind of missing today. It wasn't at its best. Elliot, as I said, just kind of got bullied out of the game. Just the physicality kind of took Elliot out of the game today. We know how good he can be on the ball and stuff like that. But more often than not in games like this, it's the hard work you do off the ball to get you over the line. So a 6 for Harvey today. An 8 for Thiago today. I thought his passing was really, really good. And like I said, that battling in midfield I thought was excellent as well. Really good to see him touch wood on this now, on a run of fitness at the moment, and staying injury free, but also getting stuck into the tackles and stuff like that. So I really like that side of it as well. See that as well. You never know, we may have him there now, dare I say, injury free on a bit of a run. So vital to us in terms of creativity and stuff like that. Bobby, I gave a 6-2. Tried hard to get involved in the game, but never really got there, and eventually was hooked. Yeah, 6 just didn't seem to. He was kind of chasing balls in areas where you wouldn't especially see him doing it, and kind of just drifted out of the game. So I'll give him a 6. Salah, I gave a 9 to. Second half was not really his fault. He was absolutely starved of any supply whatsoever to really do it, but had a really good first half, scored 2 goals, was always getting involved and remained a pest, just like Nunes up front against that Spurs side. Always chasing things down, but just second half got no supply at all and just had to constantly come back all the time to try and generate something himself. And when you drop back like that, he's the outlet. So when he's not there, you're very, very deep and you have nowhere to go. And we just seem to be hoofing balls out that just kept on coming back to us, which adds to the pressure and the nervousness that we were under in the second half. Nunes, I gave a 7-2. Probably could have given Darwin an 8. But I gave him a 7. I thought a couple of times his close control wasn't what it should be. I do like the partnership he's formed there with Salah now, that kind of understanding that they have about each other. Certainly he got the assist for Mo, which was really, really good to see. But again, sometimes when we say it with Curtis, you're going on and you're trying to impress the gaffer too much. I think at times when there's a simple ball there for Darwin to play, maybe he's looking for the shot or looking for the opening to create that chance to score that unbelievable goal. Where more often there might be a better opportunity. But yeah, happy tonight to get the 3 points. It's a performance that will celebrate from the first half, not so much from the second half. Certainly, we'd be looking at putting together a much better performance against Southampton. It'll be up in Anfield. It'll be a full crowd in full voice. Last game before the World Cup break. Be nice to end off with 3 points from that as well. And also a big game coming up midweek against Derby, which we will be previewing and we'll do a match reaction for. Be interesting to see what changes he rings, especially with us defending the Carabao Cup. Wonder will he go with a little bit of strength knowing that we're breaking up, or will he make wholesale changes to give players minutes? Let's see what he goes with. Derby won't be pushovers by any means, and sometimes when you go into these Carabao Cup ties, complacent, sometimes you can get in trouble, let's say. So we'll have to see what way that goes. But Southampton is the big one. Another 3 points would make a huge difference to us going off on that World Cup break, as I said. As always, folks, if you could like the video, if you're enjoying the content, and also if you could sub to the channel and hit that bell notification. We will be doing a couple of shows during the World Cup where we'll take a look back at some of Liverpool's icons. We'll look at their careers and stuff like that. So we'll pick out a few to do from the older days and some from the newer days, and we'll go through their career and have a bit of crack talking about the good old days, as they say. And we can hope that in the second half of the season that the good old days for this team returns as well. Certainly they look like they're on their way back. We should have a lot of players back from injury. So there's positivity to take from this today. Not necessarily in the full performance, but certainly in the win and the points, and that's what's most important. Until next time, folks, cheers.